It's storm after storm after storm again, and we're tracking evacuation warnings across our region with people facing the possibility of flooding. A flood warning has already been issued in the Wilton area in South Sacramento County, and that's exactly where Alicia Machado is right now, joining us live at the Branch Center Sandbag location with how people in Sacramento County are preparing. Good evening, Alicia.
Yeah, well, Alex, this sandbag location, we've even seen somebody coming within the last 10 minutes here. And, this is really important because there is the potential for flooding in Sacramento County areas like Wilton. We have heard from officials today who are just warning people, don't drive in flooded areas. It is so important. And we haven't even seen the full power of this storm. Flooding can come even after we see rain like this today. So that's something that we're really going to be on standby for, especially residents in flood-prone areas. But the wind right here is really strong right now. It's been pushing our gear around, Alex. And, the main thing I want to get out here today that we've heard from county officials is be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. They can't stress enough to residents to have a go bag, an emergency bag ready to go, have your pets in place, and all the things that you'll need for medications if you do have to go. And if that warning comes out, just listen to officials.
All right, Alicia, thank you so much. And there's also an evacuation warning in Modesto on 9th Street in River Road. We caught up with Ernie at the Terrace Mobile Home Parks, which is right next to the Tuolumne River. He said that he helped move 7 trailers out during the 2017 flood. And make no mistake, he's ready to make action again if need be.
A real concern is my marks are all gone. They're about 3 feet farther out, and they're covered right now. And that just happened in the last couple of days. I watch it right out that back window right here. You know. So in the middle of the night, I'll get up and I'll hit it with the light. And if it gets beyond that certain mark right there, then I'm going to start honking the horn and waking people up.
And the Salvation Army Modesto Red Shield Center is taking in those evacuating this area. And we also caught up with Jennifer out near Nevada City. When we first talked to her back on Monday, she was trapped in her house by the snow for several days. She is finally out. They have power, but her worries have now shifted to the incoming rain.
The other thing that we're worried about is flooding with the 3 feet of snowpack that we have in certain areas. We live on a pretty steep hill, so we're worried about the snowmelt causing flooding because certain drainage might be backed up by snow.
I don't want to waste any time here getting to Monica for our forecast because this is important for a lot of people, the flooding and then that snow on the rain, or the rain on the snow, sorry.
Rain on the snow. Right, and that's happening right now. So we want to take a look at our radar, what's happening, and you can kind of see with the radar, heavy rain moving through the valley. Now, what's also occurring is that snow line is pushing up the hill right now. This is what we've been preparing for the past couple of days, and you can see it started off earlier today at Blue Canyon, now starting to push its way up. Same for Pollock Pines. That snow line is quickly moving up higher and higher and will continue to do so for tonight at Arnold and Twain Harte. It's rain. We've had feet of snow in these locations, so it's putting extra hazards on top of what they've already been trying to deal with. Current totals are anywhere from about 0.3 of an inch to over 1/2 inch of rain, over 1.5 inches at Santa Rosa. Those rain totals as well going up throughout the foothills and even into the Sierra. Winds, as you heard from Alicia, it is just roaring through the valley right now. We're only at about 15 to 25 mile per hour winds. Winds will increase tonight, going up to about 45 to 55 miles per hour in some parts of the valley, over 70 mile per hour gusts in the Sierra. Trees and power concerns will continue to grow tonight into early tomorrow. Flood watch also in effect through Sunday below 4,000 feet. The rain on top of the snow adding to additional runoff, plus a winter storm warning in effect through Sunday with 1 to 6 feet of snow. But the rain on snow also putting pressure with an avalanche warning in effect through Saturday morning. We could find large avalanches occurring. And again, we're in the moderate risk for excessive rainfall. That is happening right now. We'll continue to follow the story. More in the forecast coming up, Alex.
Thank you, Monica. Ahead of the snow melt that's expected across the region, state officials have made the decision to release water out of our dams. Carly Gomez explains what this means not only for our waterways, but the people living near them.
A flood watch is now in effect, bringing potential for 1 to 5 inches of rain over the next 4 days. But that rain on top of snow in the foothills is what's causing major concerns.
The Department of Water Resources says Folsom Dam's primary purpose is for flood control, and the Bureau of Reclamation says they plan to release anywhere from 5 to 15,000 cubic feet per second. That's anywhere from 37,000 to 112,000 gallons per second.
Folsom storage capacity is just shy of 1 million acre-feet, but inflows are expected to continually increase with each day of these storms. The Bureau of Reclamation says releases are expected to increase to 30,000 cubic feet per second by Friday.
There'll be more water in the Lower American River, and these releases are in anticipation of the inflows due to these storms. We will be prepared to increase further if needed.
All weirs are expected to flow except for the Sacramento weir, which has to be manually opened, something DWR doesn't anticipate doing. It's not just Folsom Dam. The state's largest reservoirs, Oroville and Shasta, have began releasing water. Oroville is also following suit, its capacity sitting at 75%.
DWR is closely monitoring the upcoming storms and as of yesterday started increasing releases out of Lake Oroville from Hyatt Power Plant to preserve storage for flood protection.
Inflows are expected to start at 10,000 cubic feet and increase to 70,000 cubic feet per second. This is only the second time the new Oroville spillway has been used. Many are still wondering if any of that water will be saved downstream.
Thank you, Carly. And you can always find the latest information on weather conditions, road and school closures on our free ABC 10 app. You can also upload your weather photos and videos so we can see exactly what's happening in your neighborhood. And the Kings are in the number two in the West, and you can just feel the excitement in the air. Kevin John's on scene at the Golden One Center. We'll have that coming up. Also later on. We'll have more details on how people are coping with alopecia right after the break. Here are some other stories that people are talking about today. Governor Gavin Newsom is cutting state ties with Walgreens because it won't sell an abortion pill in 21 conservative-led states. The state is not renewing a $54 million contract to buy specialty prescriptions for California's prison healthcare system. The state has not said who the new provider will be. The resort at Squaw Creek in North Lake Tahoe is changing its name to Everline Resort and Spa. The change is made in respect for the Washoe tribe and Native nations. The former name is a derogatory term for Native women, and it follows the lead of Palisades Tahoe, which changed names in 2020. And the excitement is in the air before tonight's Kings game. The Kings are number 2 in the West, and I'm already smelling playoffs. And actually, the last time that the Kings did make the playoffs was back in 2006 when they lost to the San Antonio Spurs. And just to put that into a little bit of context here, there was no iPhone, no Twitter, and gas was under $3 a gallon, if you can believe that or not. Kevin John is down at the Golden One Center with more tonight.
Yes, I'm here at Golden One Center on the concourse where we are less than 30 minutes away from tip-off. Now let me set the table for you in case you're wondering why this game is so big or significant. Well, for multiple reasons. For one, this game will be nationally televised on TNT, which will be only the second time this year the Kings have received that honor. For two, the Kings are currently second in the West right now, the first time that's happened in over a decade. And for three, the Kings are taking on the New York Knicks, a team who has won 9 of their last 10. But now that we got all the basketball stuff out of the way, of course, it's going to be an electrifying atmosphere out here. I'm seeing fans come in by the droves. Expect another sellout crowd again tonight. And also, for the first time this whole season, Kings are asking for all of the fans to stand after tip-off until the first basket is scored. So it'll definitely be an exciting, loud, raucous atmosphere. They will actually be measuring the decibel level in here tonight because they're anticipating it to be that loud. Of course, I'll have a full recap from tonight's game coming up at 11 o'clock tonight right here on ABC 10.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. It's a life-altering condition. After the break, how people are dealing with alopecia and they're building a community. flood preparations, but there is no more waiting. It is here.
Heavy rain moving through the valley. Alex, you are right. Look at this. That band of rain picked up right about the midday hour and has continued to intensify, moving that snow line up the hill. We showed this just a moment ago, but hour by hour, we continue to see that make its march up through the high country. Right now at the Tahoe Basin, it is rain. At Truckee, it is rain. Arnold with feet of snow, rain right now. Twain Harte, Miwok Village. The list goes on and on. Places that we were seeing feet of snow with the last cold storm now is being affected by this warm atmospheric river. You can see the tropical connection here as it feeds in to what will be a powerful storm that will last several days. And that's why we're monitoring many river locations. We've got 10 that are expected to reach flood stage and beyond. That being true throughout most of central California, some right around the Santa Cruz Mountains, and then even up into the high country as well. This will continue, it looks like, until Friday and Saturday. We have a risk of thunderstorms for tomorrow as well. Could see some small hail, funnel clouds, as well as lightning, heavy rain, and strong winds. We have the winds with us right now. Those are going to stay in place through early tomorrow. Snow line will rise to about 8,000 to 8,500 feet tonight through early tomorrow. Then the cold air starts to work in. That's what helps to get those thunderstorms going with the instability, but the snow line will be bouncing around quite a bit as the weather system kind of plays its way out. So we'll see periods of that snow line well above the passes, and then it will come down throughout the course of this entire storm system. And we're going to be talking about feet of snow once again in the high country. And you can see through Sunday, there's very little break in the action. These are numbers that are just going to create major impacts. Carson, Ebbets, Sonora passes over 100 inches of snow, 80 to 100 inches of snow for Lassen. We could be talking road closures once again through Sunday. And as far as the rainfall, these numbers going up at about 7.5 to 10 inches of rain for the foothills and the Sierra, 2 to 3 inches of rain down low. Highs for tomorrow are near 40 for the Tahoe Basin, so it's going to be rain. Look at the warm temperatures that will be developing throughout the foothills as well, in the 40s and 50s. We're in the 50s throughout the coast, and for the valley, no more low snow. This is all about the rain mixed with snow and the dangerous conditions that will develop, especially below 4,000 feet. 10-day forecast, just not a lot of break here. We continue to see a chance of thunderstorms through Sunday, more rain next week.
All right, thank you, Monica. And don't forget, you can always find the latest information on weather conditions, road and school closures right on our free ABC 10 app. It's been nearly a year since alopecia took the center stage at last year's Academy Awards when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock after the comedian made a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who has the condition. And Rock's joke sparked criticism and conversations around the world, and also questions about what alopecia is. Our Laura Painter met with people in Sacramento who are living with the life-altering condition and the community that's grown around it.
I just love the challenge. I love to make a boat go faster, have a better day than you did the day before, and to work together with the other people in the boat.
Stroke by stroke, mile by mile, day by day.
It's great. I love it.
16-year-old Maya Nordberg rows more than 17 hours a week.
I don't think if I hadn't had alopecia, like if I'd never gotten alopecia, I'd be different than the way I was.
These class photos show Maya at different points in her journey with alopecia areata.
It first presented itself, in October of 2016, when Maya was in 4th grade, so a few weeks before her 10th birthday.
I was the one who first realized
were.
Her bald spots. Because we were at school when I first realized them. It was like a Wednesday after school art class.
Maya isn't alone. She's one of nearly 7 million people in the U.S. affected by alopecia areata.
Alopecia is a medical term that means bald. There are lots of different forms of alopecia. One of the more common ones that a lot of people have seen, I think, recently with celebrities and other people having the situation is alopecia areata, which is a form of immune alopecia. The body is actually attacking the hair follicles, causing the hairs to fall out.
Describe for us that roller coaster of emotion you guys must have been feeling as, your baby, your child, going through something like this, and as you're first hearing this information and absorbing it, and can you walk us through some of those emotions you felt?
The first emotion was, what is happening? Why is your hair falling out, and why is it falling out in these very precise little discs?
Dr. Parsi didn't treat Maya, but he works with families like the Nordbergs, to whom alopecia can be a surprise.
For the autoimmune type of alopecia, with alopecia areata, we know that it can affect any age. So we see kids with it, we see young adults, people in older ages. And it also can affect any ethnicity. In general, there's about a 2% chance that someone could develop that autoimmune form of alopecia during their lifetime.
It's not a life-threatening illness. It is a life-changing illness. You can have hair on Sunday and it can start to fall out on Monday. And there's no predicting when that's going to happen.
That's the situation sales professional Leslie Turville found herself in later in life.
Okay, you ready for this? Kind of crazy.
For most of her life, Leslie's hair looked like this.
I'm half Italian and I had phenomenal hair. So, I mean, I just had so much hair.
When did you find out about your diagnosis? When did you notice some changes?
My hairdresser found a size about of a quarter in the back of my head, no hair at all. I went and had injections and it came back and wasn't terribly concerned. And then it come 2007, February, my husband's son committed suicide. March, I was in excruciating pain. I needed neck surgery. The doctor feels between suicide and the physical trauma that I was going through and pain in my neck, that my immune system kind of went into overdrive and I was losing my hair in that time. In 3 months, I was completely bald.
After discovering she had developed alopecia in her 50s, Leslie turned to wigs to help her cope in public settings, at work, and when meeting new people.
I tried the no wig thing, and then the no wig thing kind of led to, I didn't want people thinking I was sick. I'd rather just blend in.
Leslie says she tends to go wigless and hatless whenever she can in the comfort of friends and family.
I don't like to stand out.
In fact, Leslie's wearing a wig in our interview. It's new, made of human hair, and cut and colored by Sacramento-based hairstylist Susan Stewart.
I feel like hair is the first thing we see. It's the first thing we judge on somebody. Hair is basically how you feel about yourself. I feel like they finally feel like themselves again.
That up to a third of people with it feel like they almost lose part of their identity. And so you can imagine the toll that takes on your emotional, mental health.
The fact that they allowed me to be in this part of their world, I think is very trusting. And so I will do anything I can to make sure they feel comfortable and happy. And when they are satisfied, it makes my day.
Maya showed us some of the wigs she has, which can be hot and uncomfortable.
She wasn't interested in going out of the house without her scarf on. She wasn't interested in going to school without her scarf on. And during that time, she was completely bald.
But over time, that started to change, thanks in part to group outings with other kids and their families dealing with different types of alopecia. One camp in particular marked a turning point.
It was 100 kids all together with their parents and adult mentors with alopecia, and so that was...
When she took her scarf off among what were complete strangers for the first time.
It's not easy for the child that's having this happen to them for the first time, but parents as well, working with friends, family, and neighbors, teachers, you know, occasionally dealing with, you know, some of the negative things that might come as a result of just kids being kids.
I'd say embrace it. Find like a group of people that'll support you. It's not the end of the world. You're not gonna die from it. It's just something that affects your appearance, but it doesn't affect what's on the inside of you.
That is exactly right. And that was our Laura Painter with that story tonight. You can find support resources and more information on the different kinds of alopecia on our website, abc10.com. And we'll be right back with another check of your weather right after this break. All right, Monica, how are we looking this evening?
Well, we're still going to continue to follow that flood watch. That'll be in effect through Sunday below 4,000 feet with street flooding, creeks and streams flooding, as well as some river flooding. We've been tracking that. Also have Californians River that will be in flood mode until further notice. So there's a flood warning until further notice. Californians River rising above flood stage and continuing to rise. Now that could impact evacuation routes. That's why it's so important to have those county alerts on your phone or any kind of device that you can evacuate. As you can see, rain coming in, snow level rising.
Oh yeah, make sure that you share information. Check on your neighbors, check on your friends. And if you do have to go out, make sure you give yourself some time and just be safe. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.